The following is a special presentation of Extreme eSpeed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and eSpeed.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Good evening and welcome to the Dirt Track as Charlotte is the season opener for the 2023 Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, Adam. I am Travis Piercefield, joined as always by Adam Johnson here on Extreme eSpeed TV. And Adam, winter is over, we're moving on to the season, and it's all kicking off right here in Charlotte. How's it feel to be back strapped into that broadcaster seat?
Man, I tell you what, it always feels good to be in a broadcast booth with the headset on, but I'll tell you what, it's even better when I'm backside along my partner, and I'll tell you what, it's not new for you and me in the booth. We recognize each other, but getting a sneak peek at this 2023 Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series driver roster, we've got some new faces, some new names to learn this year, so I'm eager about it. I know Cody Early's been working really hard behind the scenes, and now it's time to show, pull back the curtain and let's see what this league has.
Looking back on the 2022 season, obviously you have our season series champion, Dylan Perry. He's back. Tater Williams, he won it in 2021. He heated up really mid-season on last year and made an attempt to cut into that league. But as you mentioned, we've got some new names here. Bob Klein, Caleb Ramsey, Bobby Rafferty, Tyler Bowman, among a few, including Jesse Isidore. We have some big names returning to the series. We have some big names joining the series. And looking here tonight, we've got 22 cars that are getting ready to kick off this season, and it's going to be a lot of fun all season long.
And I was looking at the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series Facebook page, and there were guys already asking, like, hey, can I get in this league? And what I like about this is an exclusive club we're watching this season. And there may be, opportunities for guys to come into the league. We saw Austin McGlone come in halfway through last season, made an impact right away. So this is a league that, if you've been following the Pro Late Model Dirt Series, whether it's just one season, two seasons, it doesn't matter. This is a league that you easily can pick up on and say, wow, like, these guys are some of the best at what they do. And we kind of got a taste of what some of them could do. A couple weeks ago when we had the Frostbite 50 in one of the sanctioned events. And there'll be more this season. We'll get into that when we go into Adam's notebook. But quite honestly, this is going to be a season that, and we're going to say it every year. I'm probably going to say this, bookmark it this time next year and say, wow, this is going to be the best season yet. But quite honestly, this is probably the most sought-after league. When I talk to guys who do the iRacing series and are in multiple leagues, this is one where they just cannot speak highly enough. So I'm really excited to get this action going tonight. I know, as you can see on your screen right now, these cars are looking fast. We've got new schemes to talk about. There's so much to talk about this season, and I'm glad to be doing it with you, Travis.
Well, you brought up Austin McGlone. He's one of the drivers last year that joined mid-season. He ended up with 4 wins, 13 top 5, 16 top 10s. That's a heck of a start there when he only ran 18. And you look, Dylan Perry ran full season. He started with a bang, was able to win a ton of races throughout the year. But now it's all back at zero. He's got no lead. Everyone's starting with the same slate. And it's going to be a lot of fun watching these guys as they take on the entire season here for the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series.
Yeah, you talk about Austin McGlone. You talk about Dylan Perry. Likely guys who are both going to finish in the top 5 in the league this season. I don't think that would surprise any of us. I think it would surprise them if they didn't. But what is really fun is when we do these post-race interviews, these two, Dylan Perry and Austin McGlone, cannot talk highly enough about one another. So they'll put on a show on the track. They'll give it their best, because at the end of the day, they're going to just praise each other and say, man, that was a heck of a lot of fun. And we, the viewers, we get to enjoy a lot of it. So we got Dylan Perry, 2022 champion. Don't forget Tater Williams, your 2021 champion. He's still going to be in the mix. We're going to be talking a lot about him, not only tonight, but this season. So as you can see, cars getting their practice laps in, getting those tires warm, getting the track possibly a little more slick as the evening winds down and gets a little bit darker. But it's the season opener, and it feels like opening day for any other sport. And right here on Extreme eSpeed TV, we are pumped up and ready to put on a show for you tonight.
Well, Adam, we're the team up here in the booth that brings it each and every night here on the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Looking at some of the teams, though, throughout the series, you've got Chip Banger Racing. They're well represented. They've got 6 drivers here tonight. Voiles Racing obviously has Colin and Brian there. 3 Motorsports has Cody, Jordan Van Westen, and Andy Piercefield in there. And then you go down to that Gambler Motorsports. They've got 4. Steven Spies, Aiden Young, John Hines, Zach Chapman. A lot of chatter about that group here this offseason. They've put in a lot of extra time as they've strategized what they need to improve on here this year. You got Tyler Bowman. He's Tyler Bowman racing on his own. And then you have some new ones. Exiled Esports, that's Jesse Isidore, Bobby Rafferty, and then you have Bob Klein as CFM Motorsports. So plenty of teammates out here, and we'll see that come into play. You talked about how Austin and Dylan raced hard last year, but they come out of that same stable of Chip Banger Racing.
They do, and like you said, the reason they talk so highly about one another is because they've raced so much against one another. This is kind of like we get to see what it culminates to, but these guys, they're in a lot of other races together. But this really, I'd call this, the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, I'd call it like New York City. It is a melting pot of all the different leagues. This is where all the guys come together and they say, all right, I may be dominating in my respective series that I race outside of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, but in this series, this is where you kind of get to put your money where your mouth is. Oh, and that's something else we'd be remiss not to mention. There's money on the line this season. This isn't just fun. We don't just do this to have a blast. We do have a blast, but we do it with a little bit on the line. So there's some extra skin in the game, money on the line, and night number 1, hey, if you can get a win, that's a great way to start the season. I don't think I'm not breaking any news here, Travis. A win means a lot any week, but to open it up, a little more special.
And open it up we will tonight. It is the Super Bowl of racing here at the Dirt Track of Charlotte. Of course, tonight presented by Vortex Wraps to kick our season off. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Adam's Notebook, and then we'll move on to Houston Guttering Time Trials.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
Welcome back to the Dirt Track of Charlotte. I am Travis Pearsfield, joined as always Adam Johnson, and it is that time of the night. They are having the drivers meeting down outside the track. But up here in the booth, we're going to go on to Adam's Notebook, and this is the first one of the year for the season here, Adam.
It is, and I will say, reused notes can still be applied to future notebooks, so I copied a few ones over. So if you listened in to the Frostbite 50 2 weeks ago, that sanctioned event kind of got a teaser for some of these. So if I'm repeating myself, bear with me, but otherwise I'm excited to bring the first notebook of the regular season. And it all begins tonight with the 2023 Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series season. It kicks off at the Dirt Track at Charlotte for the second annual Super Bowl of Racing presented by Vortex Wraps. Now, this is the first of 25 events in 2023, including new stops at tracks like Lucas Oil Speedway and Lincoln Speedway. Now, I do want to say there are some races that are open to all drivers. We're talking about recruiting races, ones that maybe you want to get a feel. Maybe you want to join the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Maybe you're watching from home, but you don't want to be playing from the rig next time around. Well, there's a registration that is opening up 1 month prior to each of these events. April 12th, we'll have the Heartbreaker at Lima Land. $100 to win right there. That is April 12th. Write that down. Got 2 more dates for you. June 7th, the Love Our Troops 100 at Kokomo. That's another $100 to win with the ASCA 360 Sprint Car Series. And then November 8th, the Early Bird 100 at Lucas Oil. $200 to win, so $100 more than usual. Winner will actually lock themselves into the icebreaker. So once again, 3 races, April 12th, June 7th, November 8th. Find out more at the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series Facebook page. That is facebook.com/PLM Dirt Series. Now, I would like to mention that the 4th annual Icebreaker 100 also has a date. It is set for December 19th and 20th at Cedar Lake Speedway. The registration for that event is still underway now. Check that out, of course, at the Pro Late Model Dirt Series Discord for more details. And then finally, when it comes to events, the Bumblebee 33 at Bristol is set. That's right, this summer, June 14th, the front-wheel drive Bang Bangers will get their shot to headline a show, and it will be the Bristol Motor Speedway. This event will feature the front-wheel drive Honda Civics. I know we're excited about that. Registration will open soon. I'm sure there'll be an announcement about that in one of the future Adams notebooks, and the purse will be announced soon as well. And this, remember, it's a first of its kind for the Pro Late Model Dirt Series, so a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement around it. And then finally, we always like to make sure you know on Extreme eSpeed TV how you can connect with us, not only in the chat tonight, drop who you think's going to win, whether it's one of the new guys, one of the veterans, we want to hear. We'll give you a shout out here on the air on Extreme eSpeed TV. But if you want to connect with us during the week, during the holidays, whenever you need to talk, we are available on Facebook at www.facebook.com/PLM Dirt Series, Instagram at PLM Dirt Series. And if you have emails, let's say you have questions, concerns, comments, email will also be plmdirtseries@gmail.com. So with that right there, the first regular season Adams Notebook. I'm going to close it for now, but I'm still going to make notes during this race, and I am definitely going to have a notebook ready for next week as well. But between now and then, we've got a great night of racing. It's the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series at the dirt track at Charlotte for the 2nd annual Super Bowl of Racing, presented by Vortex Wraps.
So Adam's Notebook kicks us off here as the driver's meeting's about to wrap up. We're going to move on to Houston Guttering Time Trials here next, Adam. But looking at what we have some times from our hot laps here to kick off our evening. They're time spent out on the track, which we'll show and populate here. But also we have the time trials coming up. Anyone sticking out to you that maybe is going to be someone to reckon with here during the time trial session?
You know, we've obviously talked a lot, and we'll continue to talk about McGlone and Perry. I do think McGlone is going to put up a heck of a fight. He's fastest, as we saw in practice. I don't think that really changes. I don't think the track has changed enough for us to believe any differently. I do want to see kind of what Klein is. You know, Klein, one of the rookies to the league, with a 15.16 tied for third with Steven Spies. I want to see if he can keep that up. These are some names that I'm, like you, many of the viewers, are still getting familiar with. So I think McGlone's going to take the top spot. I think you're going to get another top 5 out of Klein. And then, it's kind of a crapshoot from there. And that's kind of what we like about this, because if you don't prove it in time trials, you have last chance. You have the main feature event. You've got some opportunities to prove what you got. It doesn't all matter right here in Houston Guttering Time Trials, but it is a big deal.
So you mentioned some of those names up at the top of the standings. We'll see how that translates here to Houston Guttering Time Trials, and if those times do remain similar as they make their way out on the track for that qualifying session. But we're going to take one more quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have Houston Guttering Time Trials here from the dirt track at Charlotte. You're watching the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series from the dirt track at Charlotte.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Racers, get the most horsepower from your great engine with Profabrication Headers and Exhaust. Profabrication Headers and Exhaust is an official partner of the American Crate All-Star Series and used by winning racers such as Dylan Brown, Logan Robertson, Carson Ferguson, Christian Hanger, Cody Overton, and Eli Beats. Profabrication Headers and Exhaust, just a click of a mouse away at profabrication.com. Quality that wins. Get yours at profabrication.com.
Hello, my name is Benny Boudreau and I created the Spring Rhythm app. The Spring Rhythm app allows someone who doesn't have access to a Spring Smasher to be able to set their car up to their manufacturer's suggested install loads and center to centers, as well as be able to figure out their dynamic loads, as well as make adjustments to them to make their handling of their car better. For someone who does have a Spring Smasher, Spring Rhythm will greatly reduce the amount of time to figure out those new stack setups by allowing for instantaneous spring rate changes as well as load changes. Spring Rhythm will even make sure that your setup doesn't coil bind at the loads that you're trying to hit. For only $4.99 a month, you too can have access to the same information that top late model teams across the country are using to gain a competitive advantage.
Welcome back to the Dirt Track at Charlotte. Is the Super Bowl of Racing presented by Vortex Wraps. Here kicking off the 2023 season. We did confirm with Caleb Ramsey's team he had a steering linkage issue during practice. He was the only one of 22 drivers not to get on the track during that session. But Adam, they are shutting down practice here. The guys are headed to their cars. That means we're going to head off to Houston Guttering time trials here, and that will get us going as we will look to see who's going to be out on the track first. Single call or qualifying here, and we should have some fast times out on this dirt track.
Absolutely. And as a reminder here on Extreme eSpeed TV, maybe you just missed us or forgotten, for most of these this season, it'll be some single car, a couple out there at a time, but they'll get 2 laps, put down their fastest time on either one, whichever is quicker. And we would like to get it up for you on the board too. So as they begin to go out there, you can check with us and look at the live times. And it's going to be a really fun first look at our drivers this season. You know, obviously we had the hot laps and that, but this will be the first opportunity as we can kind of take you through, maybe help you get to know some of these guys or just refresh your memory on who's out there as we learn new schemes, new car numbers, new drivers. It's a fresh new season, a new opportunity as it looks like going out there first, possibly, will be the 7 of Bob Klein. We'll see here just in a moment as race control gets them lined up from the dirt track at Charlotte. Beautiful looking infield there, and it is the 07 of Bob Klein out there, rookie to the league out of Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Love to see that state represented. He's got Team CFM Esports, Sweet Victory Apparel, Spartan Transportation, WR1 Sim Chassis on the vehicle this season. He will begin his first lap of Houston Guttering time trials. Travis, it looks like we got another one out there at the number 9.
That is Jesse Isidore. He's from Smellport, Pennsylvania. Ancient World Gaming, FGR XL, Next Level Gaming, Bucked Up, Premier Racing Setups, FGR XL, Barry Wright Race Cars, as he is also a rookie. So a couple rookies will get us started here. Isidore will shoot to the top of the charts, a 15.26. Klein right behind him with a 15.27.
Very close in their time. So they are showing that it might be a little even racing tonight. We'd love to see that. As the number 25, a familiar face, Cody Terry out there out of Gastonia, North Carolina, with a ground-bound call, Spencer Boyd LLC, Combs Cuts with his Longhorn chassis and Clement Racing engines. He has 4 top 5s in the history of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series in 43 starts, so about 1 out of every 10 you're going to get a good finish out of him.
Also out there is the Gambler Motorsports number 55. That's Steven Spees from Lee Summit, Missouri. Midwest Turbo and Performance on that car. He has Intel race engines. He has 6 top 5s, 19 top 10s, and 28 starts. As Spees will pass Terry for the third fastest. Terry makes his second lap.
A good improvement from Terry. You saw his first one. Had a little bit of issues. I think put down a 39-second one at first, but clearly did better second time around. And Speeds finishes things up as well. We will rate for our next driver to head out onto the track. And it looks like it'll be the 75 of Andy Piercefield, much loved in this league. He comes to us from Ball Ground, Georgia, with Coolray and Extreme eSpeed TV, Masterbuilt and Comet engines with that Masterbuilt chassis and Comet Lightning engine builder. He's looking good out there. He's talking big game for this season. I think he's got goals that are attainable. If we can, let's get some top 10 this season for Andy Piercefield.
Also out there on the track is that number 22. You know him in this league. It's Brandon Bender. He's got 50 career starts in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. B&B Custom Baits, Limitless Custom Creations, Chip Banger Racing, and Coolray on his Longhorn chassis. Andy Piercefield puts down a third fast of 15.42 as Bender will shoot to the top of the charts with a 15.25.
So a couple veterans of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series showing what it's going to be like this year. They're going to put up some quick times. That's a great way to start for both Bender and Piercefield. As you see Bender wrapping up his run right now. 15.25, the fastest time on the board. Not a ton of separation either between first and sixth, though. Very even out there so far. The track's starting to change. We'll see how different it is from the start of these time trials to the end, as looks like we're awaiting the 79 possibly of Tyler Bowman. Looks like he will slowly possibly make his way out onto the track. And when he does, we will let you know a little bit more about him. And behind him, it looks like you have the 71 of John Hine. A good racer, even better broadcaster. Isn't that right, Travis?
Yeah, John is my partner on Wednesday and Thursday nights in the Coast to Coast Racing League, so we'll be on the call tomorrow night there in that league. But Adam, you've got the 79 out there on the track.
That's right. Before we can get to John Hine, we've got the 79 of Tyler Bowman out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, with Bowen Renovations, J&M Flooring, Ander Furniture, Schaefer's Oil, Max Poppy's Innovations, Hoffman Speed Supplies with the CJ Rayburn race cars, and Corey Racing engines helping them out.
Also out on the track is that 71 of John Hine from St. Louis, Missouri. He's got Coolray, the Cruise Shop Gambler Motorsports on his Rayburn race car, powered by Hatfield Power. He's got 21 career starts, 4 top 5s, 16 top 10s. So Bowman will be fourth fastest currently, a 15.4. John Hine's first lap, a 15.58, good enough for seventh fastest. And that is how they will end up. John Hine will improve to a 15.42, shooting up into the top 5. And now we have another regular here, Adam. It's that 221 of Brett Carlton.
That's right, Brett Carlton joining us once again from Royal Palm Beach, Florida, with LTX Home Builders, Water Experts, and LC Property Investments. He's got that Rocket XR1 chassis with Southern-style race engines as his engine builder. And he puts down a 18.93, is also out on the track, the number 12 of Jordan Van Westen. We recognize him from Del Rapids, South Dakota, with Pizza Ranch, Norby's Bar and Grill, TNC's Self-Service, Rapid Fitness, and Creer and Blaine, with MB Customs and Sputz Race Engines helping him out. He puts down a 15.83 in his first go-around. Carlton improves to 15.32, putting him fourth on the board, bumping Bowman to fifth.
And Van Westen will end up 10th fastest, a 15.83. Tell you what, Adam, I'm liking the new paint schemes we've got this year. I think everyone that's even returned has a little bit different look to their car this year, including this 41. It is Brian Voiles. He comes out of Decatur, Illinois. His Trimbley & Son concrete Longhorn chassis. 49 starts in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. 12 top 10s. Still looking for his top 5 as he enters the 2023 season.
You know, I think repetition, practice, that'll get you there. I have high hopes for him this season to get that top 5 and maybe the first half of this season. It's good to see the Voiles back in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. As you see him jump up to 9th, the 15.65. Also out there, the 117 of Joshua Johnson returning. Joshua Johnson out of Waynesville, Georgia. He's got Vortex Wraps, BWR, Bottom Feeder Mafia Racing, White Knuckle Setup Shop, Carry Speed Works with that Kryptonite race car and Durham race engines.
So halfway through here, just over halfway, and someone that we mentioned, Adam, that heated up mid-season on last year, 51 of Jacob Lassiter, had a great run towards the end of the season there, looking to continue here at the start of 2023. He drives that 51 machine from Dresden, Tennessee. Hot Lap Heroes Racing, 789 Designs. Matt Green, the Sud Shop. That is a Rayburn race chassis with custom race engines. And also out there is the other half of Voiles Racing. It's the one of Colin Voiles. Colin comes from Decatur, Illinois. Building Systems of Illinois, Logitech, DPC, Trimbley Sun Concrete. Kryptonite chassis. He has 2 top 5s, 9 top 10s in 38 starts. As Lassiter's 4th, 5th, a 15.27, Voiles moves up to 10th fastest, a 15.49. So 14 down, 8 to go. As we wait for that next group to move on into the infield. Looks like Cody Ramsey, who we talked about, he had some steering issues, missed out on hot laps, but he is ready to go here out on the track for Houston Guttering Time Trials. He's a rookie in the league. He's from Lafayette, Tennessee. Mud Duck Racing, Speed Shop, Spartan Transportation, Sweet Victory Apparel, Say High Performance, the showroom at Westwood, Shiftworks Transmission, and Just Blazed Designs. He's got a Warrior race car, Stephen Fields Racing Engines. Looking to make his first start in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series tonight. Also out on the track, Adam, you've got the promoter, Cody Early.
That's right. Always love calling his name. Cody Early coming to us from Greenville, Tennessee in his Warrior race car ECR race engine. He's got Bass Pro Chops, Johnson City Toyota, Warrior race cards, Vortex Wraps, and Oakley sunglasses on the car. A lot of partners proud to be affiliated with him. A lot of drivers in this league proud to be affiliated with him. We'll see what he puts down on his first lap. Looks like he's got a 15.76. His quickest time, enough for 14th. Bender still up top on the board as we see the 77 of Bobby Rafferty coming out from Middletown, New York. He's got Exiled Esports, Ancient World Gaming, Next Level Racing, Swordog, Premier Racing Setups, SimRap Market, Design the Void, FGR Excel, and Bucked Up. A lot going on. Bloomquist and Jay Dickens helping him out with his ride as well. So I'm excited to see him this season. His first lap at 19.77. It looks like you've got the 72 out there.
That is Zach Chapman, another piece of that Gambler Motorsports team from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Coolray Gambler Motorsports, Young Gun Creations. He has Steven Speed's race engines in there. 25 starts, 6 top 10s here in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. His first time, 6th fastest, a 15.32. He has some issues out there on the track. He's got some damage to the hood.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of clipped the bottom, maybe one of those little barrels, but he'll have to make it up in some of our last chance showdowns or some of our carrier heat races possibly.
as we have a powerful group hitting the track here with this group, Adam. It's going to be the 69 of Aiden Young first. He's a part of that Gambler Motorsports from Dalton, New Hampshire. Coolray Heating and Cooling, Young Gun Creations, Simtrax Broadcasting, Gambler Motorsports. That's a capital race car with RPM Racing engines. 26 starts, 1 win, 8 top 5s, 24 top 10s. And also out there on the track with him, last year's series champion, the P7, Dylan Perry.
That's right, Dylan Perry. You'll hear us mention him quite a bit this season, coming out of Ringgold, Georgia, with Coolray, Rapid Race Graphics, Stealth Racing Carburetors, Harrison Automotive, Newt's Lawn Care, MSW Construction, Chip Bangers Racing, Goat Farms Posse, Extreme eSpeed TV, Banging Sets by CBR, B&B Custom Baits, and Combs Cuts with that Longhorn chassis and Phantom Race engines. Cody Early brought a great one here into the league with Dylan Perry, and he puts up the fastest time by 15.23. Do we expect anything different?
And we have 2 more strong cars here for the season, ending our Houston Guttering Time Trial session. First, it's going to be our 2021 Series champion. It's Tater Williams and his 182. He's from Clifty, Kentucky. Coolray, Chip Banger Racing, Comb Cuts, B&B Custom Baits, DPR, Bangin' Sets by Chip Banger Racing, Bluegrass Motorsports Media, FHP Consulting, DMJ Graphics, Longhorn Chassis, Mullins Race Engines. 45 starts, 11 wins. Good enough for 3rd all-time, 31 top 5s, and 39 top 10s. And also completing his laps is that 41 machine of Austin McGlone. He's from Hillsborough, Kentucky. Coolray Heating Cooling, KMJ Graphics, Chip Banger Racing, Project X Coatings, Goat Farm Posse. That's a Longhorn Chassis, Mullins Race Engine. In 18 starts last year, he grabbed 4 victories.
That's right. As you see, Tater at the top, McGlone second, Perry third. The heavy hitters that we talked about from the moment we cracked the mic. And my goodness, they are bringing the speed tonight. Might that be right there? Our podium, that was top 3. We'll find out tonight.
Well, we're about to move on to our carrier heat races, Adam. As quick time, first of the season, will go to Tater Williams and his 182. Reminder, here on Extreme eSpeed TV, if you're watching on YouTube, we've got the chat open. If you got a pick or someone that you want to throw your name in, either for a win tonight or maybe the champion for 2023, let us know who you're thinking, as we can talk about that as we go through the evening. As Houston Guttering Time Trials coming to an end. You know, Adam, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention our race control. It's Clinton Woodby. You've got Melvin in there along with Carden, so a shout out to those guys in the booth over next door to us, keeping this show running, as we're going to move on to Carrier Heat Race number 1.
That's right, Carrier Heat Race number 1, the first of the 2023 regular season. We'll take a look at a moment at the starting lineup. It'll be Tater Williams up top next to Brandon Bender. Behind them, second row of Jacob Lassiter and Brett Carlton. Third row, John Hine and Colin Voiles, followed by Brian Voiles and Jordan Manweston.
So our first Carrier Heat Race of the season, Adam, will kick us off. We have our quick time on the pole, as this will help set that lineup. 8 laps here from Charlotte each heat race. Looks like we could have 3 of those tonight. And that will set the field for our feature event, the Super Bowl of Racing, presented by Vortex Wraps.
Super Bowl of Racing, where you're guaranteed at least not to have the type of officiating controversy of other big games. We're excited to see if anyone can keep up with Tater Williams from the start. This is going to be an important green flag for guys like Bender and Lassiter, as they're about to take that green.
So we will go green for the first time. 8 laps make up our Carrier Heat Races, Adam. And this one's got a nice front row there. Bender sat atop those time trials charts for portion of that session, as Tater Williams was a part of that last group. They'll make their way through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here before our first green flag of racing action. The green does wave. It's Tater Williams on the inside, Bender up against the wall, as now Lassiter makes a look to the inside.
That's right. They are fanning out, reaching all parts of the track right now. Dirt flying, metal bumping up and down there. You can see the divots on some of these turns, just how their cars are rocking. It is a little bit of a beat-up track. You see a little bit of a touch of the wall by Tater Williams. Possibly opens the door for Lassiter, but Tater does a great job recovering, and they are still neck and neck heading into the final turn.
As we got 6 laps to go, Adam, when we had that icebreaker a few weeks ago, we had quite a few of our guys here from the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, but that thing went green for a majority of it. And as we get started here in Carrier Heat Race number 1, we're 3 laps down and still green here, and not much contact or issues throughout the field, as it's Tater Williams pulling away from Jacob Lassiter by about 7/10.
Yeah, if I'm the rest of the field, I'm a little nervous. Tater looks awfully comfortable right now. You can tell he's been putting the work in this offseason. A track he's comfortable with. You know, the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series isn't a stranger to the dirt track in Charlotte, so if you do well any time in the season, it's pretty much going to kind of send ripple effects and show that you'll do well the rest of the year as well. We see a little bit of contact there. Hine doing his best to battle with the big dogs in front of him. A lot of 2-2s in front of him, but he is kind of playing second fiddle to them right now.
So Tater Williams has about a half a second lead over Jacob Lassiter up front. This battle for third, as Carlton will move into third. It's Carlton, Bender, and Hine continues to stay heated, as Jordan Van Westen has moved off the track. As they continue to battle for third, as the white flag comes out, it's Tater Williams up front. He's up against that wall, and he's looking to pick up the first heat victory of the year.
Just picking up where he left off last year, it'll be Tater Williams taking the checkered in Carrier Heat Race number 1.
So Carrier Heat Race number 1 comes to a close. It will be Tater Williams as he picks up quick time, and now the first heat victory of the year. Those results will look like this. It's Williams, Lassiter, Carlton, Hine, and Colin Voiles, your top 5. Brian Voiles, Brandon Bender, and Jordan Van Westen will round out your field as we move on to Carrier Heat Race number 2.
That's right, and in Carrier Heat Race number 2, up top it'll be Austin McGlone side by side with Jesse Isidore, with Bobby Rafferty and Aiden Young 3 and 4. We've got Andy Piercefield and Steven Speed side by side in that third row, and Cody Early 7th.
So Austin McGlone alongside Jesse Isidore, your front row. 2 guys that I would expect to be hungry this year, Adam, as we talked about Austin's success next year. And then you have the rookies of Isidore and Rafferty here in this one, trying to improve that they belong here in this series.
Well, there's no better, first lap to test it than against Austin McGlone, a guy who is probably eager to do a full season under his belt. I think he wants to get a title. I think he's a legitimate title contender with Dylan Perry, and he'll have a full season to do it, which could scare a lot of the guys behind him right now.
So they will make their way through 3 and 4 for the final time here, as Carrier Heat Race number 2 about to begin. Austin McGlone, Jesse Isidore in row number 1. Exit turn number 4. Green flag will wave, and Carrier Heat Race number 2 is underway, and as Austin McGlone will slide up to that outside row, that opens the door for Rafferty to the inside.
Yeah, don't normally see that much slipping and sliding from McGlone, but it does open the door for Rafferty, a guy we're still learning a lot about. So could this be Rafferty's statement to the league? We'll see. He technically has the lead, and McGlone just briefly takes it back. We're going to have a battle here in Carrier Heat Race number 2.
Carrier Heat Race number 2 put a blanket over the entire field, as it's Austin McGlone up front, Rafferty to the inside, As the 9 of Isidore will watch on, Aiden Young back and forth, and Spees will round out your top 5.
Man, no rust on these guys tonight. As you see, kind of McGlone making a statement saying, hey, I can pull away when you give me the right opportunity. Rafferty maybe kicking himself. He had an opportunity early on. A lot of bouncing going on right there as Isidore jumps in front of McGlone, and we may have a neck-and-neck finish between those two for second and third.
So we're halfway here in Carrier Heat Race number 2. McGlone has separated from the rest of the field now as Rafferty will settle in second. He's got Isidore behind him in third as they continue to battle. Then you have the 2 Gambler Motorsports teammates of Aiden Young and Steven Spees running 4th and 5th. Tell you what, I haven't seen this many cars battling for one spot in quite a while here as we had the off season, Adam, but it sure does feel good to be back up in the booth.
Oh, absolutely. We've got the best view in the house. And speaking of the house, it is a full one. You see all the stands packed, and we're not even to the main event just yet, but it sure feels like they're putting on a main event show right now. Full house, beautiful crowd here from the dirt track at Charlotte as we have the final lap, white flag. It just waits for Austin McGlone.
So Austin McGlone will make his way around 3 and 4 for the final time. And Carrier Heat Race number 2 is Austin McGlone's. Rafferty second, Isidore third, Aiden Young in 4th. As now we move on to Carrier Heat Race number 3.
That's right. It'll be another heavy hitter up top with Dylan Perry leading the pack, side by side with Bob Klein. Behind them, you have Zach Chapman and Tyler Bowman. Third row of Joshua Johnson and Caleb Ramsey, who fixed kind of the issues he was having earlier. And then Cody Terry rounding out the rear in our third and final heat race of the night.
So they will make their way around as our vacation comes to a close. I know you had the glass bottom boat out last week, Adam.
I did, and it was good. A lot of ice cream, a lot of just dessert. I think I need to get back, be a little more disciplined. But one thing I think, what I like about being back in the booth with you, no one's rusty. We're ready to go, and it's going to be a fun season.
As the trumpets sound on our 2023 season, it is Perry, last year's series champion, here in Carrier Heat Race number 3. I tell you what, he won't have to pull a Houdini to pull another successful season out of that box, as he is one of our favorites coming into this 2023 season. Adam, as they go through turns 3 and 4, they make their way around towards that green flag. Green flag will wave. It's Perry and Klein on the front row as Zach Chapman makes a move to the inside.
Zach Chapman getting a little loose there early as they're 3 wide for second. You see Dylan Perry kind of taking a little bit, a page out of the notebook of what we saw from Tater Williams. If he's able to own that high line, I think he's going to try and stay there all night, or at least for the remainder of this heat race. But for Perry, he started down low, and it really didn't take much effort, at least from our point of view. It didn't take much effort for him to get back up there. It kind of looks easy for him, but you've got the 7 and the 07 behind him of Klein, not ready to give up just yet. In fact, all of the guys in the top 5 have a 7 in their car numbers. A weird math note there.
So as they make their way around, one thing I notice, Adam, Zach Chapman is a guy that's known to be a bottom feeder, as John Hine likes to call him. But you can see how much better that outside line is here early, as even he is up to the outside. He'll move to that middle there through 3 and 4, but not even attempting to make it down to there to the inside. It'll be interesting to see if that inside line comes into play later in the night.
Absolutely, and we say this, a lot last year, but if you want to test something, if you want to test the line, see how it's feeling, see how your car reacts to it. If you know you're not going to win a heat race, or even a last chance showdown, I think a good opportunity to try those things would be now. And so I would hope that some of these guys, with coming up on just 2 laps to go now, I would hope that they're kind of testing things that they maybe wouldn't normally do, whether it be in time trials or the actual feature itself. So as we approach the white flag, it looks like Dylan Perry, it's going to be his to take, and really we're seeing dominance out of the first 3 winners of these heat races. No close finishes yet, but that just might mean they're saving it for the main event.
So he'll make his way around. It will be interesting to see all these cars return to the track for that feature event. As it's Dylan Perry, your winner, Klein second, Chapman third, Bowman fourth, and Josh Johnson will round out your top 5. As we will move on to our B main, our last chance event.
That's right, our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown, first one of the year. It'll be led by Colin Boyles and Steven Spees on the front row. Behind them, you've got Joshua Johnson and Brian Boyles. So a couple of rows to go with the Boyles family. And then you have Piercefield and Ramsey 5th and 6th. 7th and 8th will be Brandon Bender and Cody Early, followed by Cody Terry and Jordan Van Westen.
So they will get lined up here for our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. Looking in the chats, next week we will have a special driver in the booth with us. It's going to be John Foskey. He ran in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series last year. So just like the NASCAR Series has those drivers pop in for the Xfinity Series events, we have some of those throughout the year as well. And our first one will be next week, and it will be John Foskey.
Yeah, and it's not just any driver. You know, Foskey, when he was racing in this league, I mean, he'd make an impact. He's a guy that we're talking about a lot on the broadcast, so it'll be fun to talk a lot with him now on the broadcast. So I know we're looking forward to that, something we talked about in the off season, really towards the end of last year. So looking forward to having you in the booth, John, and get some of your insights. So hope you're taking notes, and we're ready to take notes from what you have to say next week. So a lot of fun to come, and these races are going to fly by. This season always flies by, so we're trying to enjoy it week by week, and it begins at this moment now with that Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. And we'll see who can take this and go into the feature with some confidence.
So Colin Boyle, Steven Spees make up row number 1. 12 laps here in our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. See if that inside line has something that comes in throughout this event. As it's going to be Boyles and Johnson shooting to the front. Spees leads that outside line. Oh, and the 41 of Boyles gets into that turn 3 wall. He'll fall back to 7th.
Quite amazing that contact with the wall, which was a hard hit, did not have any ripple effect for the guys around them, as we got almost 3 wide possibly for a brief second for the lead. It is Steven Spees just holding that in front of Joshua Johnson, but that could easily swap. Man, the top and bottom lines right now, both getting used. Only seeing Piercefield really for that brief moment taking the center line.
So you can see we have about 7 cars up there battling. Ooh, slight contact between Caleb Ramsey and Andy Piercefield, as that is a battle for 5th, but it is Steven Spees out front. He continues to lead. It's going to be 8 laps to go this time by.
Johnson briefly took the lead, but right before we got to the start-finish line, Spees took it back, and plenty of racing still to go, but these guys looking a little more loose than what we saw in the Carrier Heat races. Maybe it's just because we have more drivers out there, but, I mean, they're using all points of the track right now. As you see Boyles and Bender flip-flopping back and forth for 3rd. Johnson finally takes the lead again, and Bender's got quite the run as he's in front of Boyles.
So Caleb Ramsey has gotten past Andy Piercefield. That's a battle for 5th as they try to chase down these front 4, as Boyles now falls back into the clutches of Ramsey. But Bender, Spees, and Johnson continue to make that a 3-way battle for the lead.
Yeah, and you get a heck of a run there from Spees on the top line. That's the preferred line for a lot of the guys who won the Carrier Heat races, but I'll give a lot of credit right now to Joshua Johnson. He seems to be liking that bottom lane, but he's not getting the good get-off that Spees is getting. I think we're a couple laps away from seeing Spees possibly take this back.
As expected, the fans on their feet as everyone loves a 3-way battle at the front as Spees and Johnson continue to battle for the lead.
My goodness, right there. Just touching right now. 3 of them touching, going back and forth.
Spees to the outside. Johnson to the inside. Bender trying to stick it up the middle. Two laps to go as Steven Spees up against the wall, Adam. Johnson all the way to the inside. Johnson trying to will that inside line to victory as we're going to have a battle for one more lap.
Final lap, Johnson could not capitalize. First caution comes out. We were about to have a wild final lap there. See if we can pull this up for you.
So we're going to have our Coolray instant replay. First one of the season. Adam, this caution came out 0.2 of a second before they took the white flag. As we'll watch that 3E of Cody Early and Cody Terry make contact on the backstretch.
Cody on Cody crime. Nothing Cody Early could really do at that point, but you're right. Very, very close to catching that white flag. And, oh, man, we are in for a shootout. The way we saw, Carlton just trying to keep pace. He was kind of waiting for either, Johnson or Speeds to make a mistake. Carlton just kind of owning the rear in that three-way battle.
So Johnson had the lead as they were scored. So this green-white checker to end this Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown is going to have Johnson, Spees, Bender, your top 3.
You got to think, if you're going to make a move, obviously these guys all moving on to the main event in the Super Bowl of Racing. I want to see someone take kind of a drastic move at this point. I want to see you maybe try something that you thought, maybe I should try this later on in the race. Well, try it now, and let's see what we can get. This is going to be a heck of a battle, and they're putting on a show as they are going green single file restart from the dirt track at Charlotte.
So the green flag has waved. Next one will be the white flag as Johnson's able to separate from Spees. Bender's still watching on from third as now he moves to the inside of Spees. White flag waves and it's Johnson out front. Oh, there's contact in turn number 2.
What a turn of events. No caution coming out, and it's going to be Spees somehow taking the last chance showdown in what looked like it was all but Johnson's.
So Johnson and Bender made contact as it is Gambler Motorsports Steven Spees going to come away with the Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. I don't know about you, Adam, but I need to take a deep breath and regroup after that one. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we have our pre-race festivities here from the dirt track at Charlotte. You're watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
107 Tire and Service Center is your one-stop shop for all your car care needs, and they're now a Cooper Tire dealer. American tires for the American worker. Buy a set of Cooper tires and get free tire rotation and repairs for the life of the tire. They have a 12,000-mile or 12-month warranty on most repairs. Check out 107 Tire and Service Center. They're located at 6256 Irwin Highway, Chuckey, or call them at 423-620-4970. For all your car care needs, 107 Tire and Service Center. Family owned and operated. And their number one goal is your satisfaction. Find 107 Tire and Service Center on Facebook or call them today at 423-620-4970.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
Welcome back to the Dirt Track of Charlotte. We have the Super Bowl of racing presented by Vortex Wraps. Our pre-race festivities will kick off for our feature event as we have tonight's national anthem. So pre-race is getting complete. They're wrapping up. Guys are finishing up on their cars here during our pre-race festivities. We'll take one more commercial break. When we come back at them, we'll have that Super Bowl of racing. Pre-race, our starting lineup, and then our main feature event. You're watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
Racers that win, pour it in, and we appreciate you.
Welcome back to the dirt track at Charlotte. We are just moments away from our feature event, Adam. Looking at the carrier heat races and then that surprising finish for the Last Chance Showdown, who sits atop your list of favorites here for the Super Bowl racing event tonight?
I got to think it's the heavy hitters that really open it up, and Austin McGlone, and Dylan Perry, and Tater Williams. I think that's the easy answer, but what I will say, kind of with a prerequisite on that, is we saw in that Last Chance Showdown just how racy this track can be. I mean, look, you get the view right there on your screen, and a really up-close view there of just how slick the track is starting to get as it darkens up. So I think making moves is going to be a little easier than it was in carrier heat race number 1, and I think it's only going to get easier as the night goes on. This is, I believe, only 50 lappers, so you're going to have to kind of make your decisions quickly. If we get a long green flag run, as you see the flagman definitely getting some work in right there, as some of the fans are, getting some snacks. Oh, the fans are back. That was quick. And Pace Truck now out there. In just a moment, we're going to get you set up with the starting lineup as they begin to grid out there.
So our feature event is about to kick off, our first one of the 2023 season. And with that, Adam, you've got our starting lineup.
That's right. The first starting lineup of the year, Tater Williams and Austin McGlone, bound to battle a lot this year. They will start on the top row. Behind them in row 2, defending champion Dylan Perry side by side with Jacob Lassiter. Third row of Bobby Rafferty and Blob Klein. Then Brett Carlton and Jesse Isidore. Zach Chapman and John Hine. Aiden Young, Tyler Bowman, 11 and 12th. And then we have Steven Spees and Caleb Ramsey in that 7th row, with Colin Boyles and Brian Boyles. Side by side family affair in that row. Jordan Van Westen next to Cody Terry. Joshua Johnson with Brandon Bender. Joshua looking to probably make up some ground of how it ended, with Andy Piercefield and Cody Early rounding out the rear.
So they'll go 4 wide as they drive by this packed grandstands in Concord, North Carolina. Always a great showing of fans here at the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Of course, this a salute to the fans in the stands and also everyone joining us here on Extreme eSpeed TV. Of course, Extreme eSpeed TV is the official home of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. You can watch all the season's events right here. So make sure you like and subscribe to the Extreme eSpeed TV YouTube channel. You'll get notifications when we go live. And we'll be back live here with this series next Wednesday, Adam. As we mentioned, we'll have John Foskey, our special guest, in the booth. And we're about to go green. They're going to line back up 2 by 2 here at Charlotte.
That's right. I think they are ready to go. You saw them break away from that 4-wide salute. I think their engines are revved and they're ready, and I think we are as well from the dirt track at Charlotte. Just a moment, we will get that Pace truck to pull off, and these boys will pull out.
As they get lined up, Tater Williams, Austin McGlone, Dylan Perry, Lassiter. 4 guys we talk about quite a bit every race. So it'll be a fun battle up towards the front. You've got Zach Chapman starting 10th. Some rookies in there that second half of the top 10. Aiden Young starting 12th. So plenty of guys looking to make their way up through the field. As our feature event will come out of turn number 4. The fans are on their feet. Green flag waves. The Super Bowl of racing is green as Charlotte.
First lap of the season, you see Tater Williams want that top line, but Austin McGlone rifles through the middle, takes it down low, and he might just take it back up top. What exactly Tater Williams wants is holding that high line. How well will it work for him? He's got speed on certain turns, but Austin McGlone, very skilled with Dylan Perry breathing right down his neck. 3 very familiar foes.
So Williams using that outside momentum to get the lead at the stripe. He gets into that turn 1 wall. See if that's enough for McGlone to hold on. He'll pull up a stop before getting in front of Williams. Lap number 3 is complete. It's Austin McGlone to the lead as the first caution waves.
Man, a wild start to this race. We'll see if we can pull up that caution for you, see where it came from. Having some trouble finding that one, but nonetheless, a heck of a battle to begin by our top 3 drivers. McGlone, Williams, Perry. Perry kind of just was waiting in the weeds there. And it worked. You know, kept him out of danger as we see.
Cody Terry's got some issues. We'll take a look and see. He and Cody Early were back there. Oh, looks like Terry got into the back of Andy Piercefield. Oh, and Cody Early hard into Cody Terry.
Kind of a reverse of what we saw, you know, in the Carrier Heat Race or the Showdown when Terry got into Early. I don't think, you know, Cody's really the type, either Cody, I don't think they're revenge guys. I think they have a lot of mutual respect for one another. Just odd timing and placement for that to happen.
So 3 laps complete. It's still Tater Williams out front. Austin McGlone to his outside. The front 4 remained as they started. So a lot of rubbing and racing up there towards the front. No one looking to blow it in the season opener here in Charlotte. Green flag waves. It's Tater Williams to the front. You got Dylan Perry to the inside. Austin McGlone moves to the outside. McGlone and Rafferty up towards the front. Use that inside line. Now they're both stuck to the outside line. We'll see what that does to their car as we complete lap number 4.
Yeah, and McGlone got a little bit of a tap from Lassiter. I think slowed him a bit, which obviously gave Williams and Perry an opportunity to jump ahead. Every millisecond matters right now in this league. And in this race, we're almost 4 wide for, you know, looks to be 4th place. A lot going on back there. We'll see how long they can keep it green, as there might not be enough track for all these moves these racers are trying to do. As you see Perry slide back under McGlone, but McGlone doing a good job of making up ground if and when he loses it.
You see how hard they enter that corner. If they cut in there too quickly, they slide up on the exit as our second caution of the night will wave. We'll pull that instant replay, and it looks like it's Jordan Van Westen. He's on the inside of Andy Piercefield there. Ooh, slides up. Andy gets into the back of him there, and around goes Van Westen.
Things going south for Van Westen right now as Piercefield hoping there's not too much damage on his car. Looking to have a really strong run not only tonight but this season. But once again, we were seeing a heck of a battle there from our guys up top, Williams, Perry, McGlone. A lot of fun. Kind of a precursor likely for what's going to be a really wild night of racing here. Super Bowl of racing. The big game, big race.
Everything is big here in Charlotte to kick off our season. Is Tater Williams still out front? We've got 7 laps in the books when we go back to green. And now he's going to have Dylan Perry to his outside. We saw there, Adam, very quickly Austin McGlone tried to get to the inside. He'll restart on the inside of row number 2 now. Looking at some of our movers, Jesse Isidore up to 5th. That's up 3 spots. Steven Spies, I I believe up to 7th or 8th, up 3 spots in his zone. He's in 10th, and then Joshua Johnson in 15th. He started 19th.
Yeah, looking forward to getting back to green. I think these drivers are as well. You got to think this is some heart-pounding white-knuckle driving as they go back to green from the dirt track at Charlotte. It's Tater Williams trying to take that top line, and you'll see Perry kind of take what's given to him with McGlone diving deep down low, almost making some contact, coming back up, forces some of the guys to check up behind. So far, no caution flag, but a lot of movement had to be made quickly with the guys in the back.
Jesse Isidore, he has been the meat and the sandwich for about 3 different rows as he'll come out on top. He's now up into that 6th position. Good drive towards the front ham here early as he pulls away from some of the chaos behind him.
As we hit that turn right there, it is single file. Williams, Perry, McGlone, Lassiter, Klein. They kind of fan out, but really holding that top lane. Someone's going to have to make a move now as we are just about 20% through as the caution comes out.
And I believe that was Cody Early up on his lid in turn number 1. Let's see how he ended up there.
Once again, Andy, wrong place, wrong time. Got to think that's taking the toll on his car. He's driving well, but just unfortunate as he gets involved in another caution, this time kind of flipping Cody Early onto his lid.
Cody Terry also involved in that one.
A lot of Cody on Cody crime tonight. As you see Andy Piercefield pull off into the pits, as well as it looks like Aiden Young possibly?
So we're getting set to go back to green. Dozen laps down. 50 laps will make up this Super Bowl racing feature event.
And when you're looking at guys like Williams, Perry, and McGlone continue to battle back and forth, it almost feels like at this point that's going to be your top 3. You just need to kind of shake it up and see how the marbles fall and see, all right, who's going to finish first, second, and third? Because at this point, we're far too early into this race to make any of those decisions. And really, you got the 51 of Jacob Lassiter, who at this point feels like the most legitimate candidate to play spoiler for those 3, as we are back to green from the dirt track at Charlotte. Is Tater Williams once again taking that top line and taking the green flag.
Tater Williams has Dylan Perry all over the back of him, as to the inside they've got Austin McGlone, Jacob Lassiter, and Klein watch from behind as they'll get single file now. They'll switch spots, and Dylan Perry's looking to make a run on Williams as they exit turn number 2.
So far, not too much chaos. Drivers getting a feel for the track, but if you look back there, you've got Klein, Lassiter, Isidore, and Spies all battling a lot of chaos. And really, as Travis likes to say, you got a hard charger. Steven Spies up 6 spots from where he began. How about Brandon Bender in the 13th spot, up 7 spots from where he began? Brandon Bender, veteran of this league as well, just kind of staying out of the way. Sometimes survival is just being out of the way. It looks like we may get an, oh my goodness, another caution. Oh, just cannot avoid that as Zach Chapman absolutely rocked. As we try to find you the Coolray Instant Replay here on Extreme eSpeed TV. Not a good moment for some of these drivers in what can be a spacious track.
So we'll see what happened. It looked like Austin McGlone had some issues at the front, As he was stopped there, Chapman came by, and then he ended upside down. We'll take a look at it again and find Austin, see what happened.
And then, just gets bumped there by Klein, just the slightest bump. And what really happens, watch the 71 come in here at the top. Boom! John Hine.
So John Hine T-boned his teammate.
Yeah, that was rough. Hine's going to be feeling that in the morning, I am sure. Would love to kind of have his in-car, broadcasting perspective to hear what he kind of really, you saw it right there. He had no real option. And what he could do is we get a little on-board action with the P7 of Dylan Perry. Not looking too bad in that machine. And for his sake, it's a big opportunity now with McGlone getting in that accident, kind of ruining a night when it really was a superb one for Austin McGlone. But depending on how damaged his car is, he's not completely out of this.
So riding along with our 2022 Series champion, Dylan Perry, currently running in second. Tater Williams has had control of this out front as we're about 15 laps down, 35 to go here in the Super Bowl of racing. Zach Chapman still getting towed back to his work area. Cody Early currently runs in 22nd as he is a lap down currently, the only one off the lead lap. So 2 by 2 they'll get lined up. You see the drag strip next door to the left over beyond turns 3 and 4. As we scroll by this packed house, you'll see the big track over across the street. Of course, the NASCAR season will kick off this weekend in Daytona. They'll be back here in Charlotte Memorial Day weekend. As they'll make at least one more way around here as race control gets everything settled. Austin McGlone, Zach Chapman, John Hine, Bobby Rafferty all involved in that latest caution.
So it looks like we're about to head back to green here, and we are from the dirt track at Charlotte. Crowd back on their feet. Tater Williams once again up top, with now just Perry and Lassiter behind him, with Austin McGlone. A lot of ground that needs to be made up.
Bumping and grinding back there, Jesse Isidore, he will lose some ground, as it was he and, I believe, Brett Carlton making contact. He'll rebound. He's there in the middle as he tries to stick it in between a couple cars down the backstretch.
Absolutely, and looks like a little more fanned out, a little more spaced out for this run right here. Expecting a green flag run. A lot of guys rubbing that top line, trying to kind of emulate what Tater Williams is doing, but Dylan Perry, he's the one in the lead right now.
He'll slide up in front of the 182. He'll try to cross it back over, but it's going to be Dylan Perry at the line. And now Tater Williams will try to return the favor as Jacob Lassiter watches on from the third spot.
Tater Williams, the speeding spud, or whatever you want to call the Tater Tot. He's up to second once again. Lassiter back and forth, and Klein not going away either.
Dylan Perry now in the lead, but Tater Williams, like a patch of bubbles, won't go away as he's all over the back of that P7 machine as they head off into turn number 1.
Bubble's not yet to pop, but he's looking to burst the bubble of Dylan Perry as he just gets back in front of them. Lassiter kind of waiting for them to make a mistake, just like Klein is as well. We are almost halfway through this race, and I still think we have a lot of drama still to come, Travis.
Great battle here between Tater Williams and Dylan Perry. They were the two that really got hot late in the season last year, and they're picking right up where they left off as they trade that top spot. But now Tater Williams slides back in there, and Dylan Perry's going to have to reset, go back to work, and try to move back into the lead, as now Lassiter's under pressure from Klein.
Now let's take a look here at Austin McGlone. Down 12 spots from where he started, up to 13th, though, quickly making his way back. You got to think with more than half the race still to go, Austin McGlone is going to be just fine as long as he can stay out of some of these wild, guys moving up and down in the middle of the pack. I think Austin McGlone, he's going to be a factor. Just you watch this guy charge his way to the front.
So 25 laps to go. It's still Tater Williams out front, but Dylan Perry's looking to make a move. Looking back through the pack, you've got Brendan Bender up to 8th, Caleb Williams running behind him in 9th. He's trying to hold off Aiden Young. That's one of the tightest battles on the track, as also Spees and McGlone battle. That's for the 12th position.
A lot of storylines to follow early in this season. We saw a guy like Aiden Young. What did he do? He picked up a victory early last season. You saw what that did, gave him some confidence. Even though he kind of trailed off in the later parts of the season, this time of year is very important. What happens now, we could be talking about come September and October. So, really, this could be a season-defining moment, especially with momentum. As you see the 55 getting a little bit of contact there with Isidore. Man, they are making some bold moves right now.
See the leader, it's still Tater Williams, but he's got some tail end of the field traffic up in front of him. It's first going to be Jordan Van Westen running in that 20th spot, as Tater Williams is now going to enter traffic. See how that comes into play as he tries to hold off Dylan Perry.
Yeah, always a fun game to watch, seeing how not only the leader navigates the lap traffic, but after that, see how the guys behind them, if they're also able to do what the leader's doing. It looks like they're kind of ceding to Williams at this moment. We'll see if they give the same respect to Dylan Perry when they try to roll by. It looks like so far so good, as lap traffic already coming to play, with still 19 to go, coming up on 18.
We've also got to think those top two drivers, Adam, are past two series champions. You know that respect is there, as they are guys that run up front and definitely do it the right way as they move around Cody early. Dylan Perry has cut into that lead, but now Tater Williams has some open track in front of him as we've got 17 laps to go.
You're right. Respect earned, not given in this league. And the guys in the top two, they have a ton of respect from the rest of the drivers in this series. But hey, look at this. In 10th place right now, Austin McGlone, quickly working his way back up. Watch him just work this field. Now, I think this is lining up, timing-wise, if we stay green, to be a pretty dramatic finish. If he's able to really just find himself in the top 5, let's say we get a late race caution, I think Austin McGlone, I think we still could be talking podium finish for a guy who had a really bad beat earlier in this race.
So Austin McGlone continues to move up. A good run for Brandon Bender. He's now up 13 spots into that 7th, as we saw a car there to the inside. No caution. As of yet, it's still Tater Williams as he makes his way around Jordan Van Westen. His lead is about 8/10 over Dylan Perry now. As you see that gap through 1 and 2, he does have some cars up ahead of him, so we'll see if they come into play again. But looking at battles on the track, it's Joshua Johnson, Jesse Isidore, Steven Spees, and Aiden Young. That's all a battle for 10th.
Man, Austin McGlone having trouble getting by some of these top 10 guys, in 9th at the moment. Also want to give it a shout out right now. Tyler Bowman up 7 spots. He's cracked the top 5 right now. You see Brandon Bender up 13 spots in 7th. My goodness, as we see our 5th caution of the night just come out.
This one involves John Hine. Looks like Bobby Rafferty, Brian Boyles pinch together. Ooh, and Boyles into the 71. A hard hit for John. His second hard hit of the night. Make sure he's got a warm pack for the broadcast tomorrow.
Yeah, we may need to kind of just get a little medical treatment, check on him. Those are some hard hits John Hine is taking. Those aren't your normal, get spun around and take the caution out. He's paying for these, and you're right. I think whether it's an ice pack or a heating pad in bed tonight, John Hine's going to need it. Great driver, just having some unfortunate luck and a couple moments in this race, but unfortunate, but turning it into fortune. Austin McGlowan, you see him in 9th right now. A top 10 finish would be great, but a top 5 is what he deserves based on the car he has. We'll see if he can get there in these next, roughly 10 laps. A lot easier said than done, but I think a reset gets the guys all a lot closer. That could benefit Austin McGlowan. Now, you look at some of these other drivers you've seen, Bender just making his way, making his moves up double-digit spots. It looks like he's up 13 from where we started. But the story's going to come down to this. Tater Williams, Dylan Perry, who's going to take the checkered flag? We've seen this so many times from Dylan Perry where you don't say his name enough, which seems crazy and just hyperbole to say, but he somehow every time makes a move at the end that makes you say, yeah, he had him right where we wanted him. So the last 2 series champions are going to be battling out with roughly 10 laps to go, and here on Extreme eSpeed TV, we are eager to see how it goes.
So these two will continue to battle. We're down to 11 laps to go, Adam. So how quickly our first evening of the year is going by. But you've got to think, Dylan Perry was very dominant last year. If Tater Williams is able to conquer him here to start the season, you've got to think that will be a boost to his confidence as the green flag is about to wave.
Yeah, and this is not going to be the last time. Certainly this is the first time this year, but it's not the first time we've seen these two battle, in series, in season, and in league history. But it's not going to be the last time this year either. I can almost make a guaranteed bet on that we're going to see these guys going back and forth all year long. So let's say, Tater gets it tonight or Perry gets it tonight. It's going to be the opposite at some point this year, and that's what's so fun about this Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Is just the level of competition is insane. I mean, all those cars in your picture right there, all realistically have a shot to win, and let's try and get that first one here.
So green flag will wave. It's Tater Williams out front. Lassiter looking to the inside there as it's Williams, Perry, Klein to the outside. And Adam, earlier we were talking about a bunch of rookies up towards the front. There's now only 2 really in the top 10 as it's Tyler Bowman and Caleb Ramsey. The others have kind of settled in their mid-pack. So a good start to a couple rookies here at Charlotte.
Yeah, and I'm not going to count out Klein there in 4th. I think he has an opportunity to finish on the podium. He could do it here as the caution comes out. 6th of the night.
This one involving that 25 of Cody Terry. Ooh, it looks like Brian Boyles possibly got into his right rear. Spun him around. Thanks to Coolray for that instant replay. So looking to get things back going, our hard chargers, Tyler Bowman, he's up 6 spots to 6th. Brandon Bender up 13 spots to 7th. Caleb Ramsey up 6 to 8th. Saw Andy Piercefield's up 5 spots to 16th. So some good runs throughout the field. As we look to get back to going, under 10 laps to go, Adam. you've got to think this intensity is going to ratchet up a few more points here, especially between those front two that have battled all night long.
Yeah, and I think as a viewer, cautions are fun because they kind of reset the deck. But I think as a viewer for this kind of race, especially tonight, I want to see this kind of end on a long, these final laps. I'd like to see it just be all on a green flag, just to see what these drivers have, see what they want to put on the line, see what they want to show this early in the season. I think a lot of these drivers, especially the veterans of the league, they've shown their cards before, so it's almost it's like playing chess at this point. We've played checkers in the past to begin this league, but it's a chess point now. It is who's going to outthink the other, who's going to do something the other one didn't quite predict. And while with less than 10 laps to go, we're going to get a good answer as they are back to green, possibly the last green of the night. We shall see from the dirt track at Charlotte.
So single file restart here as Carlton looks to the inside of Lassiter. He'll make the move there. Carlton will move up to fourth. He now works on Klein, who runs in third, as it is Williams out front, Perry second, with 7 laps to go.
Klein looking to make a statement in his first race with the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Could this be a podium finish? He might still have his eyes set on a win. So either way, a top 3 would be huge for this rookie as Carlton leapfrogs him. It's a veteran affair right now. Carlton wanted to get in the mix. It is a battle for that 3rd spot. You got to think some hard contacts going on now as you see Klein hit the wall. Oh, man, spun around. That could be the end of the night for Klein, and the caution is out.
Austin McGlone involved. We'll take a look at that latest caution.
It's just the fact that Austin McGlone can get there, a big deal.
So you saw Bob Klein unable to keep it down, gets into that wall right in front of Lassiter. Austin McGlone involved. Plenty of drivers made their way through that, though, Adam. So some looking to take advantage.
Man, we're just talking about Klein and the opportunity to finish on the podium, if not pick up a win tonight. Kind of a devastating way to close out the night for the rookie. I was looking forward to honestly talking to him in the booth and hearing his perspective, but at the moment, 4 of your top 5, all veterans of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. So Bowman, really the only guy within earshot of getting in here and getting to the podium as a rookie. Otherwise, we may have to wait till maybe next week where we got 3 big races on the schedule. I think you got better odds there, right?
So Williams, Perry, Carlton, Lassiter, Bowman, your top 5. Jesse Isidore back up into the top 10, Adam. He's up to 9th. Joshua Johnson, he's up 9 spots to 10th. Brandon Bender's still the hard charger at this point. He's up 14 spots to that 6th position. And it looks like we're going to have 4 laps to go. Single file restart here at Charlotte.
And you'll notice there's a lot of these runs where Tater Williams is going to get up top. He's going to get a big lead. But what I marvel at is what Dylan Perry is able to do when you think, oh man, how's he going to make up that gap? He just finds a way to get just the smoothest slide down low. And I do think if we see any sort of pass in these final laps, it's going to be one where Tater's way up top and Dylan Perry just finds a way to creep in on that inside. And if it happens, I'm calling it here. It would not shock me, but it will still amaze me.
So 7 cautions as we are preparing to go back to green. And what is about to be our first race of the season in the books, and it has not disappointed. I think there's some players that didn't make it up front like we expected them to be, but the 2 that are up there between Williams and Perry, no surprises there as we're back to green. 4 laps to go here at Charlotte.
All right, this is a money move right here. This is where we find out what do these guys got. Like I said, Dylan Perry's going to try to take that inside. Not going to work just yet, but he still has a few more opportunities as Williams holding on for dear life on that top lane. We're going to see how it works out with Carlton, possibly waiting for either of the top two to make a mistake.
Dylan Perry and it's Carlton as the front three break away. Perry, Carlton going to have to make their money shot here quick with 2 laps to go. Tater Williams continues to lead here at the Super Bowl of racing.
And this could be a huge night for Brett Carlton. I'll tell you what, Carlton, with 4 top 5s ever in this league's history, a 5th right now and 1 to open up the season would be huge. But right now, it's Tater Williams looking to make the biggest statement.
Tater Williams makes his way around. The 2021 champion will tie Dylan Perry for the second most wins in the series. He now is a 12-time Coolray Pro Late Model Series winner, and he will start his 2023 year in victory lane as the front three, Williams, Perry, Carlton, will join us up here in the booth shortly. Adam, a great start to the year for Tater Williams.
Yeah, as you see him doing his little burnout here for the sold-out crowd. A little damage on that left fender. Ain't going to matter much, but I'll tell you what, Bowman came awfully close from putting the rookies on the board. We'll have to wait till the triple header next week, Winter Nationals, and I think we'll see the rookies make more of an impact, especially later in this season, but hopefully next week as Tater, you can tell, soaking up this moment. We're going to have an opportunity to talk to each of the boys on the podium, but man, great start to the season in my opinion.
So the top three will get parked. We'll wait for them to join us up here in the booth. As our Super Bowl of Racing, presented by Vortex Wraps, kicks off our season, Tater Williams is your winner, as it is a great run tonight for Chip Banger Racing, Adam. But we'll throw it over to you. Adam's got our third place finisher, Brett Carlton.
That's right. I'm joined alongside Brett Carlton, a guy that we got to watch a lot last season in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, but didn't get as many opportunities to talk to him in the booth. And Brett, your 5th top 5 this season, first podium obviously of this year. How does that feel to start the season?
Man, it feels great. It was a tough season. I felt like I had some speed, but just had some trouble navigating traffic and got into some issues along the way. But I've been working hard on the off season, trying to just be more consistent, more patient, and have fun. Get back to just having fun.
Absolutely, and it was fun to watch. To tell you, your practice it made for a heck of a race tonight, and we lost one of the heavy hitters earlier due to caution, like Austin McGlone. So in a way, some of these moves opened the door for you. Klein getting in a caution, but it's right place, right time, and you seem to capitalize. Was there a point there in the final laps where you thought maybe even getting up to second was a possibility, or are you feeling pretty thrilled about this third place?
Oh, I was totally thrilled about being in third place, but I was if I could get a run on Perry, I'd definitely take the shot. But very happy with third place and a CBR top 3.
Next week we got the long stretch, probably the most races in a short span with the Coolray Winter Nationals, 21st, 22nd, 23rd from Volusia. Carrying this momentum. And momentum is a real thing. It's a huge part of this series and this league. How are you feeling about going to Volusia? Is this a track that you feel confident at least, 1, 2, maybe 2, maybe all 3 of these nights could be your night possibly?
Yes, sir. Momentum is everything, and Volusia's got to be probably my favorite track, the one I have most experience on. I've run a lot of laps there in real life and won some races there. I consider it my hometown track, so I'm very excited to go there for 3 consecutive nights and have some fun.
Well, we're excited to watch you. And before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity to open up the season by thanking some of your partners.
Yeah, thank all the guys over at Chip Bangers Racing. We just have a lot of fun together and keep it exciting. I want to thank the sponsors help pay the bills, Water Experts of South Florida, LTX Home Builders, LC Property Investments, Settler Style Racing Engines, and Rocket Chassis.
Awesome. Well, Brett Carlton, your third place winner tonight. Put on a heck of a show. Brett, thank you for the time and best of luck next week.
Hey, thank you guys very much for the broadcast, and Cody for the and Andy for all they do. This is a great deal. I'm just honored to be a part of it. So thank you guys.
Appreciate you, Brett. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Now joining us up in the booth is last year's series champion and tonight's second place finisher. It's Dylan Perry. Dylan, heated battle there with Tater Williams all night long. You got by him at one point, but it felt like he just had the better car tonight. Is that how it felt from your side?
I mean, yeah, he was definitely the guy to beat once we all kind of got in a rhythm. I think I had a little bit of left rear damage that was kind of hurting once the track got slick, and I was having to keep when it just got kind of more to the aero side, had to keep momentum. But at the end of the day, he drove a good race, and he did everything he had to do to win, and he came away with it.
Coming into the season, you come off as the winner last year in the series. You leave here with a second place. You seem somewhat disappointed. What were your expectations coming in here tonight, and how do you leave here as we head off to Florida next week?
I mean, I always want to walk away with winning races. I think I said it at one point last year. I show up, try to win them all, but it's just it doesn't always work out that way. But at the end of the day, I'll take a second with these group of guys any day of the week, and just glad that my buddy Tater was able to get this one. I'm definitely gonna celebrate with him, and I'm proud of him.
Obviously, you've got some Chipbanger Racing teammates out there. There's some rookies here in the league this year. Everyone's gunning for you after the season you had last year. What's it going to take to repeat and go back-to-back here in the series?
It's gonna be tough. I mean, it was hard winning the first one. I was able to get on a little rhythm and pick up some wins, kind of in a couple weeks in a row, and that helped a lot. But it's gonna be tough this year. We got a bunch of good guys that are coming back, a bunch of guys that are new that have some pretty good speed, and then I don't want Brett to feel left out either. I mean, he drove a heck of a race, and he's picked up a lot of speed over the off season. So I'm definitely happy for him to help us get the podium, and it's gonna be a tough year. So I guess we'll find out if I have what it takes to do it again.
Well, great run to start your defending season here of your championship. Any sponsors you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, first off, I've always got to thank Andy. He's been a tremendous help to everything that I've got going. Real life ain't on here. He's helped me more than I think words can describe, and I really truly don't think I can thank him enough. And all the guys over at Chip Bangers Racing, those guys are there. We've got a pretty good team built up, and I don't think I would want to replace any single one of them. They're like a family, and I just couldn't do it without them. Rapid Race Graphics, Stealth Racing Carburetors, Harrison Automotive, Newt's Lawn Care, Phantom Race Engines, B&B Custom Baits, Combs Cuts, Goat Farm Posse, FHP, just everybody that's on this car ride. I couldn't do it without them, and they help me do what I love to do, and hopefully I can keep going with it.
Well, a good run and a good start to your season, Dylan. That is your second place finisher tonight. It's Dylan Perry. And now joining Adam from Victory Lane, it's the 182 of Tater Williams.
That's right. Honored to be joined with tonight's race winner, Tater Williams. And Tater, with that win in your 46th start in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, not only do you tie for second most all-time wins with 12 now, you tied the guy who you just edged out. How does it feel to be in Victory Lane to kick off the season?
Oh, it feels really good after an up and down year last year. I felt like last year was one to just put behind us and move on to this year, and it's starting off right.
Even for whether it be the hot laps you were doing or the carrier heat race, that top line, it was working for you. You just seemed to have the fastest car out there, even when guys got by you for just a brief moment. Did it feel like, from your perspective, that you had the car to beat as well?
Somewhat. Hot laps don't pay nothing. I know that. And I kind of sucked in hot laps, and I wasn't really worried about it, but going into qualifying there, I saw the top was good, but just had to kind of take a gamble because nobody else was going up there. And ultimately it paid off, and glad that we set quick time.
Give us a little bit of a preview now for next week. We got a little bit of a mini marathon with the Coolray Winter Nationals, February 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Is that something from your perspective, getting in the head of Tater Williams, is this something where you say, okay, I want to win one of these, or is winning even, obviously you aim for that 8th race, but is a goal, do you set goals like that where I need to at least get a win in one of these 3 to keep this momentum going, or how do you approach Volusia, a track that we know that you can do well at?
Well, of course, every night you want to go out and win, but Volusia, I always say it's kind of my kryptonite. I hardly ever run good there. I'll have a good race there one week, and then I'll suck there the next. But I usually don't get good there until it gets slick, so hopefully the track will slick off pretty good, and we can come out of there with some wins. But if not, hopefully some podiums or some top 5s.
Tonight it was kind of a preview, I guess you could say, and even though Austin McGlone got knocked back with a mid-race caution, I think it's going to be the Tater Williams, Dylan Perry, and Austin McGlone show a lot this season. Are you eager for that challenge to continue, with 24 more races?
Oh, I'm ready. I haven't done much practicing on the off-season. I've kind of took a break from it, but I know I'm just as fast as those guys night in and night out, and I've just got to be there behind the wheel.
Absolutely. Well, Tater, before we let you go, first time this season, of many, we're sure. I want to give you an opportunity to shout out some of those partners before you go.
Got to thank Andy Piercefield over at Coolray, first and foremost, for not only what he does for me in the sim side of things, but in real life as well. Got to thank all my guys at Chip Bangers Racing, Combs Cuts, B&B Custom Baits, the Scuba Cowboy himself, Dylan Perry Racing. Got to thank him. Banging Sets, Bluegrass Motorsports Media. That's Austin McGlone. If you guys need any pictures taken of your sim cars, hit him up. FHP Consulting, KMJ Graphics for keeping me looking sharp on the racetrack. And lastly, give a shout out to Goat Farm, all of those guys. They're a good group to hang out with. And thank you guys for broadcasting us, and Cody for putting on the league.
Absolutely. That is Tater Williams, your winner of regular season race number 1 for the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Travis, a heck of a battle, a heck of a start to the season, and I think a heck of a regular season we're about to see.
Heck of a season gets started here tonight at Charlotte. And as you mentioned, we'll head to Volusia, down to Florida next week for the next set of races. You've got to think Dylan Perry is going to try to come back and grab that first victory of the season. Many guys still have that check to mark off this year, but Tater Williams opens up the season here at the Super Bowl of Racing at the dirt track at Charlotte. We're going to shut it down. We'll be back next week right here on Extreme eSpeed TV. We appreciate you tuning in and watching us tonight. And as always, we hope that we get to see you at a racetrack again soon.
This copyrighted broadcast of Extreme eSpeed TV Network is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of the Extreme eSpeed TV Network is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast.